What's up, guys? It is Ryan here with the Salty Yak, and today we are going to do a tailing tip over my favorite bait, the Topwater. Karen and I decided we wanted to do these tailing tips, little quick videos on what we like specific to the bait that we're throwing, or anything that we feel is a good idea to talk about. So today we're going to talk about the Topwater, right? My favorite bait. I would throw a Topwater all year, every day, if I could. I love fishing topwaters. It's a great bait to use, especially if you have, you see any type of redfish chasing bait. Maybe you got some birds working. You can see fish working bait on a shoreline. Just different types of scenarios that you can use a topwater. And we all know how redfish blows up on a topwater, and just that massive explosion that happens. Or you see that big trout that does that toilet bowl flush around, just slurps it under. It's just that heart stopping, just amazing. I guess the attack that we all love, right? So let's talk about some different topwaters. Here I've got 4 different types of topwaters in front. I've got a heat-on Super Spook right here, okay? Super Spook Junior, which is a smaller version, right? A little bit quieter, not as loud, whereas the Super Spook, hear that difference, right? I've got my favorite bait to throw is a Rapala Skitterwalk, and then my other favorite bait is a Skitterwalk Junior. Same thing, guys. It's a little bit smaller bait, but it's got that little bit higher pitch. I'll hear that, right? Whereas the Skitterwalk Junior is a little bit smaller profile. It's not as that loud. Pop's more of a dull pop. The bearings inside are working. On these tailing tips, guys, like for the topwater, this is my opinion. This is what works for me. It's what I like to do, right? There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to fish a topwater. There's more than one thing to like about topwaters. This is just what I like, right? My 2 favorite topwaters are the Skitterwalk and the Skitterwalk Junior. 2 different sizes, right? The bigger Skitterwalk's got a little bit bigger profile. Looks more like a mullet. It's got that little louder, higher pitch. Really, really good for working chop. If you've got any type of chop on the water, walks really well, floats really well. It's just a really awesome bait to work. It's easy. It's very easy to use. That's another reason I really like it. The Skitterwalk Junior I really like for calmer to flat surface water, right? If you get on a giant flat that you're drifting and it's really flat, almost like glass, or just real calm, you don't want to throw that super loud pitch to the topwater. You'll actually spook them. You can actually spook fish. Whereas you throw the Skitterwalk Junior, a little bit smaller profile, doesn't make as much noise, right? You have a tendency not to spook the fish. What do I like about the topwaters? The Skitterwalks, like I said, they float really well in the water. Okay, they just sit in the water like so. Okay, they're easy to walk, right? They're very well balanced. The bearings inside they just make really good noise. The hooks on there are super sharp VMC hooks. One thing that I will sometimes do on my topwater is I will actually take out the treble hooks, and I'll put the single J hooks on there. It makes it easier on the fish when you do that release. It doesn't tear their mouth up. Not to mention, we've all been snagged by a hook before. If you haven't, you're a better angler than I am. But it's less likely for you to get hooked when that redfish or trout starts shaking on you in the boat, right? Where do I like to throw the topwater? I like to throw it anywhere. I'll throw it anywhere, right? I usually don't throw it in water deeper than 4 feet. Typically, skinny water, up to about 3 or 4 feet is kind of like that range is where I like to throw the topwater. Anything deeper than that, they're probably not going to be paying attention to it. But I like to throw in that skinny water up to about 4 feet. That's usually where I like to throw the topwater. Color-wise, you see topwaters with multiple color patterns, right? My favorite color pattern on the topwaters is that chartreuse with that skinny side. Just really glows in the water, just really pops. They make a version like this, but pink, instead of the chartreuse is pink. That's a really pretty color to throw also. Very bright, so it works really well. You know, they say the old, you know, if it's cloudy or overcast outside, throw that darker bait like this right here would be a really good color pattern for a dark bait. You know, bone's really good. I think it's a personal preference, and that's the beauty about a topwater, right? It's a confidence bait. So if you're confident in it, throw it. I don't really know if it truly matters color-wise, more so than I just really like that color, so I throw this color a lot. Some people are probably diehards on the color and think colors really matter. That's perfect. That's even better for them. More power to them. I have certain colors that I like to throw, depending on the weather, but my go-to colors are typically going to be the chartreuse with a silver side, or the pink with a silver side. One thing that I really like doing on the topwater is I like to have what's called a loop knot tied into it with my leader. I run braid line on my rod and reels, and I usually tie an 18 to 24 inch mono leader. And I use a loop knot. Try to zoom in for that. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. See that loop knot? What that does is allows that bait to just work a little bit better when it slides back and forth like so. Okay, just kind of helps, to me, just helps walk it a little bit better. My favorite types of rod and reels to throw it. I can throw spinning and I'll throw bait cast. It's not going to matter to me. Medium light to a medium with a fast tip are usually the two that I'm going to throw it on the most. That medium tends to walk it a little bit better, and that fast tip just kind of helps it pop, but a medium light works really well too. Again, it's a preference thing, right? Some people are hardcore this rod, this bait, this color. Either way for me works really, really well. A couple of things to think about, right, when we're fishing in a kayak. Are we going to stand or are we going to sit, right? I love to stand as much as I like to sit. I think standing, I'm a little more comfortable, a little more balanced. You have to be a little more balanced when you're standing, but I like to stand a little bit more. So when I cast, I've got my ruler here. I'm going to show you when I cast. I may start out with my rod tip up and work it just like this. Then as it gets closer, maybe switch the rod down and work it just like so, right? I've heard that when you walk the rod up like this, it kind of keeps the nose up more so in the water. So it walks like so. Guys, I'll tell you right now, sometimes I'll cast and I'll just keep it down the whole time and just work it just like this. I don't really know if it makes a difference or not. It's just kind of, what do I do at that time? I just kind of make up my mind. More than likely when I'm fishing and I cast it out there, I am going to keep it kind of parallel to the water, maybe angled a little downward, and just work it just like this. That's probably most of the time how I throw fish a topwater with my rod. When I'm sitting, it's always like this, always, right? It makes sense, right? You know, guys, these are just my preferences on the topwater. Like I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So there's more than one way to fish a topwater. There's more than one type of rod or reel that people use. These are just little tips that I like to do, okay? Like Kara and I said, guys, we appreciate you paying attention. We appreciate you following us on Facebook, on Instagram. We've got the Salty Yak Tribe Facebook page. Hit us up and let us know how we're doing. If you got any questions, shoot them to us, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks.